The time of possession was like over 40 minutes in the entire game. I mean, that was the key. You got to control the trenches offensively and defensively. They got after it. A huge victory, but controlling that line of scrimmage was the big thing, and it's going to have to be over these next 4 games. You got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. The game of football has not changed. You control the offensive lines and the defensive lines, those big uglies in the trenches, you will win football games.
8-5 is perhaps a record not a lot of people expected at the beginning of the year, but now that this is our reality, other than that, what has surprised you most about this squad over that course of the season thus far?
I mean, we're ahead of schedule. Again, when we talked to training camp, Natalie, I mean, if you told me that this team was going to be 8-5, the same record as the Baltimore Ravens and the same record as a lot of these other teams in the league, and you had an answer at quarterback, everybody would sign up for that. They could have won against the Steelers if that Zach Ertz play, but they could have lost to the Chicago Bears on that Hail Mary. So they're right where they need to be talent-wise, and it's just amazing the turnaround in 1 year. So I have to give credit to a lot of people. I mean, first starting with Adam Peters, bringing in all that talent, especially getting Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz to come here. They wanted to come here, but tying them up, you could see their leadership. Even through the 3-game losing streak, you can see the leadership of 2 guys who have won Super Bowls calming the ship. Natalie, this has been a rudderless ship here for a long, long time. A lot of talent, but not a lot of leadership. And I think that is the biggest surprise for me, that all of this has come together so quickly. So quickly it's come together. I mean, you're thinking that maybe this was going to be something you see next year. Man, they're ahead of schedule. And like I've told you before, you got to be happy if you're a Washington Commanders fan, because you got over $100 million in cap space next year. You got multiple draft picks, and you have Adam Peters, the one pulling the plug on a lot of stuff. So help is on the way.
Yeah.
Help is on the way. So it's kind of like, let's enjoy what's happening right now, and let's try to if you're a Commanders fan, a Commanders nation, let's try to see how much you can get out of this season, because it's right there for the taking in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Adam Peters. You can't mention Adam Peters without Dan Quinn as also, because he's dealing with the day-to-day, what that locker room is like. And you mentioned the guys like Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler. Those guys, I think, have been huge, both on and off the field. So those are definitely guys that we need to be mentioning, especially, now we get down to the crunch time of the season. 4 games left, Lou. Saints, Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys, where are the Commanders right now in terms of, because I know everyone's thinking and assuming that this is going to be a postseason team. Where's your confidence level with all of that?
So my confidence is high. I think you got to keep pace, because you don't want to have worry about other people winning and losing for you to be able to get in. But I see Jaden Daniels going back to Louisiana in New Orleans and putting on a show. I'm really interested in that Eagles matchup when they come to Northwest Stadium in a couple of weeks. That's going to be huge to find out where they are. The Eagles are playing phenomenal. Don't know about Atlanta. I think that's a game that I think that they can get. And then the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, who knows what that's going to be about for the last week. So all I can say is, Natalie, meaningful football in the month of December is so much better than packing it in and not having anything to look forward to. So let's buckle up and see what happens.
I love that. And I love that you say meaningful football, because before I let you go, I have to ask you about college football this past weekend. It was rivalry weekend. But of course, everyone had their eyes on that Michigan-Ohio State game, as they do every year. And I got to say, prior to this, I am a Michigan fan. I did go to there. But a lot of the conversation prior to that game was the flag planting controversy. And this was not the only game we saw that this past weekend. This has been a talker this past week. Where are you kind of with this controversy and whether you should see this in college football or not?
Yeah, Natalie, I'm saddened. I'm saddened by the whole thing. It goes back to sportsmanship. I did see one of the Michigan players in one of the on-field interviews say, hey, there's no place for that. You got to be, you got to lose gracefully. Well, you got to win gracefully too. I mean, you won the game. To embarrass a team like that, to put the flag on the. I mean, what does that actually accomplish, right? And I just think it's a bigger issue, Natalie, because it's the state of sports. It's the state of our political climate. It's the state of a lot of things. People are not handling conflict the right way. I was appalled. Like, where will it end? Where will it end? So it's something to watch for sure.
For sure. Well, Lou, great stuff as always. So great having you on the program to talk anything sports related. So thank you so much. You're the best.
You are the best too, Natalie. Talk to you later.
All right. Sounds good, Lou. Stay with us. We've got so much more Toyota Sports Talk coming up in just a little bit.